Hi guys, week 5 here. Welcome to Texture. Foiled and feathered is our technique for this week. We started by cleansing and finger detangling. I then split her into 4 quadrants to her part. So she is a little heavier on one side, and that is intentional. Whenever we look at color placement, I always like to foil to our guest part. That way we don't go through and do a gorgeous foil and then turn around and have them move their part and then we're not seeing any of their color. So it's really important just to part where our guest likes to wear their hair. So we're starting with diagonal back subsections and we're working our product mid shafts to ends. Now, in each section we drop, this is going to vary. So you're going to see me go mid shafts to ends, just the ends, and then some sections or subsections are going to be feathered all the way up to the root. What that's going to do is it's just going to give us a variation of depth and light. So when we look at foil techniques or hair color, we need both depth and lightness in order to see dimension. So whenever we're looking for dimension, you need highs and lows. Now in this section, I'm just demonstrating that whenever we have a subsection that is wider than a peace sign, you just want to make sure that you're splitting that up. And that's just to avoid over direction so that we don't have any wonky spots that are farther off of the part line than the rest of the section or the area that we're working in. We want to be really mindful of saturation and curl pattern. So as I go through this section, you're going to see me go through and make sure that each individual foil is very heavily saturated, as well as making sure that we're reinforcing that curl pattern as we move about. So I do have a slow motion section that'll be coming up here shortly that's going to show you how to really enforce that curl pattern as we move up the hair. Now for this particular demonstration, I used Blondor by Wella, so 30 grams of Blondor with 1.5 ounces of Welloxin 40 volume developer. And I remixed probably 5 batches with this. So we want to make sure that we're working with fresh product always. And that's going to make sure that we just have consistent lift throughout the hair. So if we go through and mix one huge batch at the very beginning, we're not going to get consistent even lift. In this current section, I'm just slowing it down a bit so you can see that we're just gently making sure that we're feathering that application up to the root. And what that does is it ensures that we have no harsh lines of demarcation. So this foil technique may look a little bit different than something you're used to seeing, but the reason we're so focused on the amount of color that we're applying, as well as the saturation and how large the subsections are, is because we know that in curly or textured guests, a lot of times you'll go through and place color and then you'll think it's going to be amazing. You'll go wash it out and it's all gone. You can't see it. So a really common theme with textured or curly hair is that it really takes a lot of those highlights or a lot of that color in order for it to actually be seen in your overall look. So we're going 3 foils back to back, varying the amount of color that we're placing throughout the foil. So again, root to end, mid shaft to end, and then just the ends. Then we're going through and we are leaving out about 1/2 inch of ease. So that's where our dark comes in for our dark and light. And again, right here, you're going to see me reinforcing that curl pattern. And that's just to make sure that our lightener doesn't affect our overall curl pattern at the end. Because sometimes with chemical services, we can actually influence the amount of curl that's left in the hair. So just reinforcing that curl pattern is going to help. We did the same thing in all 4 quadrants. And this is Amber complete with all 4 quadrants done. So again, I foiled up to the part, diagonal back subsections. Now this is what it looked like before we rinsed the product out. And I thought it was important to show you so you can really see the variance or the gradation that this creates. And this is her finished overall look. which is just gorgeous. So she's got a nice, bright, warm blonde. I did not tone her because I really loved the warmth. It goes beautiful with her skin tone, as well as the base color. So I really didn't feel a need for toner with her. Stay tuned next week when we do some condensed cutting. Thank you so much for watching.